Elderly people cease. These 5 everyday meals become poisonous when reheated. What if you're being poisoned by your cooking habits? Millions of seniors reheat leftovers every day without giving it much attention. Yet there is a hazardous reality beneath the surface. According to shocking research, you may be releasing invisible poisons that do more than simply upset your stomach whenever you reheat some leftovers. They target your brain, stomach lining, and nerve system. According to one study, reheating a single popular item increased bacterial toxin levels by 79%, and another found that a single microwave cycle increased inflammatory indicators by 67%. Why doesn't the news cover this? The food business, according to some, doesn't want you to know. The worst part is that 99% of seniors are unaware that the second most popular meal on this list, which is consumed every day in most households, can raise inflammatory levels by 67% with just one reheat. In addition to revealing 3 items that need to be reheated, this video will also identify 5 typical foods that you should never reheat. This isn't fear-mongering on the internet. Stay tuned because every caution in this video is supported by actual, peer-reviewed research. You must be aware of this. Tell us where you're viewing from, how old you are, and how many times you've reheated dinner from yesterday without thinking twice in the comments section below before we start. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. We read every comment and provide tailored advice and ideas. Now let's get started without further ado. The 5th item is potatoes. The humble potato is a vegetable that appears to be rather innocuous, so let's start there. The majority of us have made numerous reheatings of baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, or potato recipes. However, this is the result of reheating cooked potatoes after leaving them at room temperature for an extended period of time. They turn into a haven for the bacteria that causes botulism, Clostridium botulinum. This is also not an uncommon event. According to a European Food Safety Authority report, between 2015 and 2020, a number of botulinum outbreaks occurred throughout Europe as a result of inadequately kept potatoes. When cooked potatoes are left out for longer than 2 hours, the issue begins. The damp, humid atmosphere is ideal for the growth of microorganisms. The damage is already done, even if you later refrigerate them. Toxins produced by the bacterium cannot be destroyed by heat. You're not eliminating the poisons when you reheat those potatoes. Because the warming procedure can awaken latent spores, you're actually making matters worse. Bacterial levels in potato meals that were allowed to sit at room temperature for 4 hours were 300 times higher than the safe consumption limits, according to research published in the Journal of Food Protection. Food poisoning caused by potatoes can cause weeks-long muscle weakness, respiratory difficulties, and excruciating cramping in the abdomen. This can be fatal for elderly people whose immune systems are already weakened. Potatoes should be stored in the refrigerator within an hour of cooking. Never leave them wrapped in aluminum foil, as this produces an oxygen-free environment that is ideal for the growth of botulism. Eat them within 3 days after storing them in shallow, airtight containers. If you have to eat leftover potatoes, cook them fresh over high heat to make potato pancakes or add them cold to salads. Cooking only what you will eat right away is the greatest strategy. In any case, fresh potatoes retain more nutrients, including potassium and vitamin C, which are lost during storage and boiling. 4th place. Mushrooms. Next on our list are mushrooms, those flimsy fungi that, when warmed up, take on a frightening quality. According to a thorough study released by the European Food Information Council, mushrooms contain complex proteins that decompose quickly when cooked. These broken-down proteins in mushrooms can lead to serious digestive problems and, in certain situations, cardiac problems when they are reheated. Mushrooms have a different cellular structure than other vegetables. They have a lot of proteins and enzymes that break down as soon as they're cooked. Reheated mushrooms had 70% more toxic chemicals than freshly cooked ones, according to a study published in the International Journal of Food Microbiology. Anything from a minor upset stomach to serious allergic reactions might be brought on by these substances. The effects of mushroom toxins on the cardiovascular system make this especially risky for elderly people. Certain chemicals in reheated mushrooms have been shown by researchers at the University of Milan to trigger blood pressure spikes and irregular heartbeats. This interaction has the potential to be lethal for anyone taking heart medication. Those who frequently ate reheated mushroom dishes had a 40% greater incidence of stomach problems, according to a research that tracked 500 adults over 60. Eating mushrooms just after cooking is the safest method to manage them. Refrigerate them within 30 minutes if you must store them, and eat them cold within 24 hours. Cooked mushrooms spoil more quickly than nearly any other meal, so never leave them at room temperature. Vitamin D, selenium, and potent antioxidants that strengthen the immune system are just a few of the amazing health advantages of fresh mushrooms. Additionally, they are among the few plant sources of vitamin B12, which is crucial for elderly people. To get the most out of these advantages, look for fresh mushrooms and eat them right away with a little garlic and olive oil. Any leftovers can be blended into a cold soup or sliced cold and added to salads. Chicken is number 3. Now, we're entering very hazardous terrain with chicken, a protein that, when handled improperly, turns into a haven for bacteria. Everyone should take notice of the startling findings on reheated chicken that were published in the Journal of Food Science. The protein structure of chicken undergoes a significant alteration when it is cooked and subsequently chilled. Reheating it produces new molecules that can harm your digestive system rather than restoring it to its previous state. The speed at which bacteria grow on grilled chicken is the true threat. 2 of the most frequent causes of food poisoning, Salmonella and Campylobacter, can double in number every 20 minutes at room temperature. According to a thorough USDA investigation, chicken that was left out for just 2 hours had 1,000% more bacteria than was considered safe. This is the really scary part, though. Not all of the poisons that these bacteria have previously created are removed, even when you reheat chicken to scalding hot temperatures. The repercussions are especially bad for elders. According to the CDC, hospitalization for food poisoning related to chicken is 5 times more common in persons over 65 than in younger adults. The symptoms are far more than just a stomach ache. We are discussing life-threatening bloodstream infections, acute dehydration, and renal failure. According to a 2018 Johns Hopkins study that examined 1,200 cases of food poisoning in the elderly, 34% of cases were caused by inadequately reheated chicken. Every time chicken is warmed, its protein makeup also changes, making it more difficult to digest and perhaps causing inflammation. Reheating chicken proteins over and over again can raise blood inflammatory indicators, which is especially problematic for elderly people who already have arthritis or other inflammatory diseases, according to research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Chicken should be stored in shallow containers that can quickly chill in the refrigerator within an hour of cooking. A whole chicken should never be stored in one piece. Instead, it should be divided into smaller chunks. Keep the chicken in the refrigerator for no more than 2 days. If leftover chicken is unavoidable, consume it cold in salads or sandwiches. Fresh chicken is a good source of selenium, B vitamins, and high-quality protein. Cook smaller servings that you can consume in a single meal to optimize these advantages while maintaining your safety. Herbs having inherent antimicrobial qualities, such as thyme and rosemary, can be used to season fresh chicken. Rice comes in second. Almost everyone is surprised by this one. Rice is a common ingredient on dinner plates worldwide, but if you're not very careful, it may become one of the most hazardous foods you can reheat. If not treated appropriately, an unseen substance that can grow on the rice poses a greater risk than the rice itself. Bacillus cereus is a spore-forming bacteria that can survive the initial cooking process and can be found in cooked rice. These spores have the ability to grow quickly and release toxins once the rice cools, particularly if it is left at room temperature for longer than an hour. Two kinds of poisons are produced by the bacteria. One induces excruciating diarrhea that can linger for days, while the other causes severe vomiting within hours. The scary thing comes next. These poisons are not eliminated by reheating rice. According to a research in the International Journal of Food Microbiology, homes that left cooked rice out for longer than 2 hours before putting it in the refrigerator were responsible for almost 89% of reheated rice-related food poisoning cases. Microwaving won't help you because Bacillus cereus produces toxins that are resistant to heat. Because symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal discomfort can induce quick dehydration and hospital visits, this becomes an even greater problem for seniors. It takes military accuracy to handle rice properly. Spread cooked rice on a big level surface and let it cool within 1 hour. To guarantee quick cooling, place in the refrigerator right away in sections no thicker than 2 inches. Including serving time, never let rice sit at room temperature for longer than an hour. Rice should never be reheated more than once. It should be consumed chilled within 24 hours. Cooking just enough rice to consume right away is the safest method. B vitamins, minerals including manganese and selenium, and complex carbs that sustain energy are all found in fresh rice. Brown rice provides extra nutrients and fiber to help maintain digestive health. If you have to utilize leftover rice, cook it in fried rice, where the intense heat and continuous stirring protects it from bacteria, or consume it cold in salads. First on the list are leafy vegetables like spinach. An unusual enemy is at the top of our list of dangers. Reheating spinach and other leafy greens, those nutrient-dense foods we've been urged to eat more of, makes them poisonous. This is not a fanciful theory. Following several poisoning cases throughout the country, the European Food Safety Authority issued particular warnings regarding reheating spinach. The issue is caused by the high nitrate content that is naturally present in leafy greens. These innocuous nitrates are changed into hazardous nitrites by bacteria when spinach is cooked and then allowed to cool. These nitrites are changed into nitrosamines when the spinach is heated, and the World Health Organization has identified these substances as likely carcinogens. Nitrosamine levels in reheated spinach were 300 times higher than those in freshly prepared spinach, according to a seminal study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry. This is especially concerning for elderly because nitrosamines raise the risk of more than simply cancer. They disrupt the oxygen-carrying capacity of the blood. Those who routinely ate reheated leafy greens had considerably lower blood oxygen levels and a higher incidence of shortness of breath, according to a University of Vienna study that tracked 1,500 persons over 65. Additionally, a 45% greater rate of methemoglobinemia, a disorder in which the blood is unable to adequately carry oxygen to tissues, was found in the study. Older persons' digestive systems are particularly susceptible to nitrite poisoning. Blue-tinged skin, a fast heartbeat, exhaustion, and headaches are some of the symptoms that can be confused with those of other age-related illnesses. Within 4 weeks of cutting reheated greens out of their diet, seniors' energy levels and cognitive ability improved, according to research published in the Journal of Nutrition. Copied spinach must be stored very carefully. If you must preserve it, quickly chill it in an ice bath and put it in the refrigerator right away. Copied spinach should never be kept in storage for longer than 24 hours, and it should never be reheated. Copied spinach can only be safely consumed cold, possibly in a cold salad or blended into a smoothie. The amazing nutritional benefits of fresh spinach make it worthwhile to preserve it. It offers vitamins K and A, calcium, iron, and potent antioxidants like lutein that support eye health. Eat fresh spinach right away after softly steaming it to optimize these health advantages. Freshly cooked spinach has the most accessible nutritional content. To improve the absorption of iron and to supply vitamin C, squeeze in some lemon juice. A crucial storyline twist is about to occur. Some meals must be warmed in order to be safe, whereas others become hazardous when done so. You should always reheat these 3 meals completely. Pork comes in third. Trichinella spiralis, a parasite that causes trichinosis, can be found in raw or undercooked pork. Even while this risk has decreased due to current farming methods, the CDC still records cases annually. In 15% of examined samples, pork items that were not warmed to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit still contained active parasites, according to a study published in the Journal of Food Protection. Reheating leftover pig meals is not only advised, but also necessary for safety. When pig is properly warmed, its protein composition actually becomes easier to stomach. Compared to eating pork cold, warming it to 165 degrees Fahrenheit enhanced protein digestibility by 23%, according to research from the USDA Meat Science Laboratory. The secret is to completely and uniformly reheat the pork. To make sure every component reaches safe temperatures, use a meat thermometer. To guarantee uniform heat distribution, slice thick portions before reheating. It's important to stir and rotate before reheating because a microwave can produce hot and cold patches. Reheating in a covered dish with additional liquid at 325 degrees Fahrenheit in a regular oven is the safest way to do this. The second is leftover vegetable or meat-based soup. Although soup sounds like a good option, it needs to be warmed correctly each and every time, whether it contains meat, grains, or vegetables. The risk is that soup is frequently kept in bulky servings that cool down unevenly. The middle of a pot of soup remains in the danger zone for bacterial development for a considerably longer period of time when it is placed immediately in the refrigerator or freezer, even though the outside may cool quickly. Hazardous microorganisms such as Clostridium perfringens and Listeria monocytogenes can flourish there. Because their immune systems react more slowly, elderly persons are especially vulnerable to these bacteria. 34% of elderly patients hospitalized for foodborne disease had eaten inadequately chilled or reheated soups within 48 hours prior to the onset of symptoms, according to a clinical report published in the Journal of Geriatric Infectious Diseases. Abdominal pain, fever, and in more extreme situations, sepsis or disorientation are common symptoms. There is additional risk associated with cold soup. Potatoes, rice, and pasta are examples of carbohydrates that may ferment slightly in storage, resulting in gas-producing chemicals and upset stomach. Soup should always be kept in shallow sealed containers, and big batches should be divided into smaller ones before being chilled. Soup should never be reheated in a microwave in short bursts or on low power because this will result in cold areas. Use a pot on the stove instead, and for at least a minute, bring the soup to a rolling boil. This guarantees that every component reaches a safe temperature and that any germs are eliminated. Additionally, it aids in bringing back the tastes and textures that contribute to soup's nutritional qualities. When soup is properly reheated, all of its nutrients, from the collagen in bone broth to the vitamins in vegetables and the electrolytes that aid in energy and hydration, are fully utilized. First, dishes made with ground meat. Any recipe that uses ground meat is at the top of our list of things that must be reheated. In contrast to entire cuts, where bacteria stay on the surface, the grinding process disperses the bacteria throughout the meat. According to a thorough FDA investigation, dishes including ground meat that had been kept for longer than 24 hours had bacterial levels that needed to be reheated at a high temperature to guarantee safety. There are exponentially higher chances of contamination because of the surface area that is exposed during grinding. The International Association for Food Protection found that after only 30 minutes at room temperature, the bacterial counts in ground beef meals exceeded 1 million per gram. Particularly for elderly people with weakened immune systems, these are not numbers to be taken lightly. A temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit must be reached throughout the dish in order to properly reheat ground meat. According to research published in the Journal of Food Protection, 90% fewer cold spots were found in dishes made with ground meat when they were reheated by stirring them every minute. This continuous motion guarantees even heat distribution and total bacterial eradication. Slicing before reheating guarantees that the center of meatloaf or meatballs reaches safe temperatures as soon as possible. Ultimately, the risks are just too great to jeopardize your health. Seniors nationwide unintentionally harm themselves with meals they believe to be safe every day. Your first line of protection against these hidden kitchen hazards is knowledge. Since this knowledge has the potential to genuinely save lives, share it with everyone you care about. Keep yourself safe, educate yourself, and keep in mind that being too cautious when reheating food is preferable to becoming very ill. We'd like to hear from you now. Out of these 5 foods, which one caught you off guard? And after consuming leftovers, have you ever experienced nausea or an upset stomach? Please leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. We enjoy listening to them. To ensure you never miss the greatest health advice, remember to click the subscribe button and enable notifications. I appreciate you viewing, and I hope to see you again soon.